Hey everyone, before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more stories, like this one. Pick it up off the floor. My nephew, my brother's kid, declared, brushing icing from his fingertips as if I were the spill to mop up. Chuckles sparked around the dining table. Quick, cautious bursts that murmured, "Let's keep this small." My brother grinned faintly. My mother's gaze dropped to the tiles as if they held an escape route. The cake hit the ground face first, a muffled thump that echoed louder in my chest than it did in the room. I caught the fork's clink, the clock's steady pulse, a silence tightening like a stitch pulled taut. I breathed in the sugary sting of shame, too sharp, too dense, as someone mumbled, "Kids, you know," and another voice chimed, "She'll be fine." Hey, I'm Larquin, 28, and I've learned silence cuts like a knife. It seems harmless until it mirrors what people hide from. So I stayed quiet, holding my posture like a steady, unshaken cord. The room probed me with glances, shrugs, and fleeting jabs dancing on the surface, waiting for me to become the issue they could pin down. I knelt, not to comply, but to reclaim what was mine. Scattered berries, a chocolate-smeared paper flower, fragments of a moment I'd crafted, planned, and frosted with hope. The tile chilled my skin through my thin dress. My heartbeat mingled with the faint scrape of a plastic cake knife against a plate, sounding like a pen crossing out a faded vow. "Don't make a fuss," my mother whispered, as if the fuss hadn't already been scripted for me. "I'm not," I replied evenly. One candle burned on, absurdly defiant, while the others lay scattered like toppled chess pieces. My brother patted his son's shoulder. Boys being boys. The kid smirked, his mouth the same one that had diminished me. I stood, brushed my hands clean, and placed the candle upright on the counter. Its flame held steady. In that faint, stubborn glow, I tallied what I'd given them: rides, deposits, signatures, my reputation on shaky lines. Love turns into currency when you sign it too often. Later, evening crept in, purple at the edges. My phone pinged. "Mom, we're done. Stay away for good." A second ping, my brother liked it. I read the message twice, then a third time, and the silent blade gleamed again. My fingers typed, "I'm removing my name from every loan tomorrow." By midnight, the group chat erupted. Calls lit up the night like warning flares. As the last cake crumb hardened on the tile, unyielding as truth, the calls kept coming. The chat glowed like a siren in the dark, names flashing, people who'd laughed while I scraped frosting from the floor. Their guilt was punctual. I sat curled on the couch, robe wrapped tight, laptop open to a spreadsheet listing their debts in stark black and white. My brother's mortgage boost, my mother's emergency cash, my father's car loan, all bearing my name, each a favor they treated as my obligation. My brother's last text blinked. "Selah, don't be dramatic. Talk tomorrow." I typed, "Sure," with my lawyer and closed the laptop. The apartment hummed with the fridge's drone and a faucet's faint drip. My reflection in the dark window looked unfamiliar, calm, but sharper than I'd known myself. Betrayal doesn't always shout. Sometimes it murmurs until it's all you hear. By morning, I'd emailed the bank. Trudy, a bank officer, confirmed the removals. Once your signatures are gone, their accounts face solvency checks. Translation, they'd stand on their own. My phone buzzed. "Mom, you're destroying us." I recalled her voice from the night before, urging silence as her grandson mocked me. I texted back, "Families don't ask you to eat off the floor." Hours later, my brother appeared at my door, unshaven, unsteady. "You can't just pull your name off loans." "Selah, do you know what happens if we default?" I met his gaze. "I do. You learn." He paced, words spilling, excuses, half sorries, sudden warmth. "You're overreacting." "Mom didn't mean it." "I'm not punishing you," I said softly. "I'm done shielding those who never shielded me." Rain fell outside, slow and cleansing. He looked small in the doorway. "Selah, please," he whispered, but I'd already closed the laptop, its click final as a lock. Some debts cost more than money, and I was done paying. By noon, word raced through the family faster than the rain. My aunt called, feigning concern. My cousin texted, "You can't abandon blood." Funny how blood only mattered when cash was at stake. I brewed coffee, watching steam curl like ghosts I'd stopped chasing. The scent filled my apartment, rich and still, a quiet revolt against years of being drowned out. I wasn't angry anymore. Anger was too costly. I was awake. Then a knock, sharp, unmistakable. My mother stood there, rain-soaked, lipstick smeared, eyes cutting as ever. "What are you doing to us, Selah?" she hissed, stepping in uninvited. "Your brother's credit is frozen. The bank called me. I told you I'd remove my name," I said calmly. "You told me to stay away forever. I'm honoring that." She blinked, as if her own words had slipped her mind. "You don't mean that." "We didn't." I tilted my head. "But you liked it." Silence. Her wet shoes squeaked on the floor. For the first time, I saw fear behind her anger, not for me, but for what my absence cost. "You can't do this," she whispered, trembling. "We'll lose the house." I wanted to offer kindness, but the well was dry after years of being the steady one, the one who'd understand. "Maybe you should have thought of that before laughing when your grandson tossed my cake," I said softly. Her face fractured, not a collapse, but something raw. "You're cruel." "No," I murmured, voice firm. "I'm done." She turned to leave, but paused. "You'll regret this." The door closed, and I sank into the quiet. The rain tapped the windows, almost applauding. I sipped my coffee, meeting my reflection. The woman they'd diminished now stood tall in silence. Morning brought a stillness heavier than sound. My inbox overflowed with pleas, threats, sudden affection. "Selah, please, you're tearing us apart." I deleted them all. Outside, the city gleamed, washed clean. The air smelled of metal and wet pavement. At the bank, Trudy smiled softly. "You sure? Once finalized, you're free of their accounts." "That's the point," I said. Signing the papers, a tremor ran through me. Not regret, but release. My pen moved deliberately, each stroke dissolving emotional debt. Trudy whispered, "That took courage." I nodded. "No, exhaustion." Outside, sunlight caught a puddle at my feet. I wandered, the city alive with strangers buying flowers, kids pulling parents, a violinist playing a melody that stung and soothed. My phone buzzed, my brother's voicemail. "Selah, you've made your point. We're sorry. Mom's freaking out. Her name's on those papers. If the bank audits were done." Another. "You think this makes you better? You're destroying Dad's legacy." I let the words blend with the violin, then deleted them. I didn't need their understanding, just peace. And peace, I realized, bore my signature. 2 days later, an envelope slid under my door. My mother's neat handwriting on it, the same hand that signed my childhood notes. Inside, old loan papers, all marked co-signer, Selah Quinn. A note: "If you undo this, we lose everything. You're my daughter. You're supposed to help, not ruin." The paper carried her perfume's faint trace. Her tears, or rain, blurred the word family until it looked like finally. My chest ached, but I didn't cry. I'd grieved years ago, quietly, while driving them to appointments, paying their bills, covering their lies. I drove to their house, the one my name helped rebuild. Peeling paint, wild yard, my brother's refinanced car out front. He emerged when he saw me. "Here to fix this?" he asked, hopeful. "No," I said, holding the envelope. "To return it." He didn't take it. His jaw clenched. "You're heartless." "I was your safety net," I said. "Now I'm giving you back your weight." For a moment, he was the boy who'd borrow my pencils and never return them. Then he laughed, bitter. "You'll regret this when we're gone." "Maybe," I said, walking away. "But I won't vanish with you." The rearview mirror caught him standing amid what he thought he owned, realizing it wasn't his. That night, sleep eluded me. City lights danced across my ceiling, traffic humming like restless thoughts. I heard my mother's voice from years ago. "You're the strong one, Selah. You'll understand." Her excuse for neglect. Each time, she meant, "You'll carry our pain." I opened my notes app and listed every payment, date, signature, a silent ledger of unseen work. If they twisted the story, the truth would speak. At 2 a.m., a voicemail from my mother, fragile, almost childlike. Selah, please call. We can fix this. I didn't mean that night. I was embarrassed. You know your brother. I nearly called back, then recalled her averted gaze as her grandson shamed me. The silence she chose. At the bank, Trudy slid the final release across. You're cleared. No legal ties. I traced my name on the paper, detached, free. Want a copy? She asked. Yes, I said. For closure. Sunlight hit my face outside, warm and piercing. Loyalty without respect is just servitude in disguise. My phone buzzed Mom again. I didn't answer. Some silence isn't revenge, I whispered. It's recovery. By Friday, my world was quiet. No pings, no guilt texts, just peace, suspicious at first, then real. A bank letter arrived. Accounts I'd co-signed were under review. My brother missed payments. My mother's savings were frozen. Their lifelines unraveled, and I wasn't their fallback. I set the letter beside a family photo. Christmas, me washing dishes while they opened gifts. The photo's edges curled, as if the memory wanted out. Later, Mrs. Dunlap, Mom's neighbor, texted, Your mom's not well. She's pale. Talk to her. Guilt crept in, familiar and heavy. I stood by my window, city lights pulsing. I replied, Thank you. Please ensure she eats. That was all. At midnight, my brother texted, You've made your point. Hope you're happy. I stared, then typed, I'm not happy. I'm free. There's a difference. His typing dots flickered, then stopped. I set my phone down and exhaled. The air felt mine. Thunder rumbled distantly. A new storm, maybe. But I didn't brace. Peace wasn't given. I claimed it. Signature by signature, silence by silence. Morning light spilled in, soft and tentative. My apartment felt lighter, unburdened. I sat with coffee watching rain dry on the glass, thinking how endings arrive quietly. A knock, gentle at first, then firm. Mom stood there, no makeup, hands trembling, holding a small box. Her eyes scanned me like someone searching for a path they'd buried. I'm not here to fight, she said. Just to give you this. Inside was my old anniversary pendant lost years ago, inscribed, to Selah for holding us together. She sighed. I found it packing. You were always holding us up. When you stopped, we crumbled. I swallowed, the pendant heavy. You didn't crumble because I stopped, Mom. You crumbled because you never learned to stand. Her eyes shimmered. Maybe we deserve that. I shook my head. It's not about deserving. It's about learning. You taught me loyalty. I taught myself boundaries. Silence settled, not cruel, just true. She nodded, a quiet surrender, and whispered, I'm sorry. I didn't reply immediately. Words couldn't hold what had broken and healed. I placed my hand over hers and said softly, Take care of yourself. When she left, the air breathed. I set the pendant on the windowsill, sunlight catching its curve. It wasn't forgiveness or spite. It was understanding, freeing both sides in quiet. As the city hummed, I whispered the only word that fit.